Hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while. Leftover women are aimlessly wandering the streets. So this is absolutely unbelievable stuff, but we knew it was going to happen. Today we actually have videos from China society China social trends. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so you can go check them out. And this is insane. I'm not making this up. We actually have leftover women in China who are now not only expressing regret, but telling you straightforward that they are aimlessly wandering the streets. These are the boss babes, these are the feminists, these are the women who did not need any men. They are now in their 40s. And a lot of Gen X men warned about this. They said this very strongly. This was a couple of years ago when I started this new channel. They said a lot of Gen X women messed up. They messed around and they are finding out now. And that's what you're seeing. The younger members of Gen X, a lot of these women, all right, and the older members of the millennial generation, they are now finding themselves completely alone. And it doesn't matter if they own a house, it doesn't matter if they can do everything on their own. They are extremely lonely and they are out wandering the streets. And it's sad to say that, there's a saying, it's from the streets that they came, and it is to the streets that they shall return. And that's exactly what's happening. So shout out to everyone watching on the tube and shout out to everyone watching over on Rumble. I know my Rumble peeps that it's been a while since I streamed, since I've done a stream in general. You know, and I know Rumble, I know you guys on Rumble have been a bit frustrated. But it is what it is. That's just how it goes sometimes. This is the first stream in a very long time. The reason why I'm actually streaming today is in celebration of 1,000 subscribers on Rumble. So we're actually at 999 total subscribers. They call them followers on Rumble. We're at 999. So I figured now would be a great time to just go ahead and say, hey, why not do the 1,000 subscriber stream? So this is our 1,000 subscriber stream, celebrating Rumble, celebrating 1,000 subscribers on Rumble, and hopefully we'll actually hit that lucky number while we're watching the stream. If you guys want to go and follow us over on Rumble, go and follow us on Rumble, because we're going to be moving over to Rumble partway through this stream, and then things get really spicy over on Rumble. So our Rumble is actually linked in the description of the video if you want to go and check us out and follow us over there. But yeah, guys, we have this is going to be a great stream, absolutely great stream for everyone. I think it's going to be lit, really, really lit. Let me see here. And there you guys can see it right there. Total followers, 999. So we are one away from 1,000. Who's going to be the lucky 1,000? All right, who's going to be the lucky? If you're not subscribed to Rumble right now, you can be the lucky 1,000th subscriber. So head over to Rumble, go and subscribe, become the lucky 1,000 if you're not subscribed already, and just let us know in the comments that, hey, I just subscribed to Rumble, I'm the 1,000, and I'll give you guys a shout out right on stream right now if you are that 1,000 subscriber. So if you're not subscribed to Rumble, go and subscribe to Rumble. Go and subscribe on Rumble and let us know immediately that, hey, I'm the 1,000 subscriber, and I will give you a special shout out live on stream. How awesome is that? Can't get much better than that. I know a lot of you guys probably think I don't love you Rumble peeps. I do love my Rumble people. It's just that I've been busy with other things. Part of it is my health is still a little off. And then also I'm just kind of burnt out. So I got to shout out Andy Matrix, got to shout out Mogbo Gaming. They've been holding things down, especially Andy. Andy is a boss. He is 100% a boss and a total just hard worker. So shout out to Andy Matrix, and of course shout out to Mogbo Gaming. They've been really holding things down while I'm just dealing with my emotions and my feelings and my health. But a lot of it is emotions and feelings, because, we all get in our emotions sometimes. Just don't do that in front of a woman, because then they will really dislike you for it. because they say open up, be, show us your feelings, and boys need to learn how to cry. But if you ever cry in front of one of them, it's literally like committing like one of the seven deadly sins, and I mean that quite literally. Who missed me? I know you guys. I know there were some who missed me because I saw comments like, "Where the heck is Angry? Like, Angry's not working anymore. He's just enjoying himself while he has employees." Like that's not true. I was actually miserable. Like I wasn't simply enjoying myself. I was like, just pondering the meaning of life and having somewhat of an not even an existential crisis. I went through that a long time ago. It's more along the lines of I just don't care anymore. It's basically going deeper into my Gen X. Like, yeah, I just don't care. I just don't give a damn. Like, I mean, like if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't even be making these damn videos. Like, I just don't care. You guys are here complaining about Andrew Matrix hosting the channel. Like, yeah, I just don't care. Like, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't give you anything. Like, I just don't care. Like, that's the Gen X attitude I'm talking about. I'm a Zennial, and it the older I get, the less I care about really anything. I've actually had some family members pass away recently, and to be honest, I don't care. I literally don't care. I've had tons of family members pass away. I've had, sibling pass away not too long ago. Actually, it's been a couple of years now. Happened while I was like, after I opened up this new channel, and I never talked about it. And I just it's hard to care. It's literally hard to care. There's no like, no more tears. Just don't care. Let's see some of the comments. Let's see some of the comments before we jump into the video. Okay, we've got about 38 people over on YouTube watching. We've got about 15 over on Rumble, which is good. It's great to see you guys over on Rumble because I know, like I said, I know you guys have been pissed off with me. I can't, like, what the messed up thing is, like, because I want to read some of the comments, but then I have to be very careful because, like, how YouTube is messed up. But one of the comments from Haji, he says, they control alt deleted Kevin Samuels. What type of nurse that doesn't know how to do CPR? Yeah, they took him out of this world. I've said it plenty of times. Mm-hmm. Said it plenty of times. Let's see here. And Adam3 says in 2025, most men are going international or just staying single. That's literally it. That's literally it. They're not going. Most men are not going to waste their time dealing with people who do not even like them. All right, you've got to be kidding me. Tavala says the streets is their natural habitat. Damn, bro, it is though. It really, really is. Like I want to, like, damn, bro. No, it is. It is. It's from the streets that they came. It's to the streets that they shall return. That's where they feel the most comfortable. That's where they feel the most at home. In the streets, because they get bored. They get bored and they want to go home sometimes. And for them, going home is just going outside and walking around. It's exciting out in those streets. It's exciting. They love it. That's girls just want to have fun. And that's about it. They could care less about if society actually continues or survives. Those are things for men. Let's go ahead and jump into the video, guys, because it's pretty hilarious. I do think it's funny seeing them basically say, "Yeah, guys, we miss you."
Is it unreasonable for me to want a man who is at least 1.7 meters tall? No, it's not unreasonable. I graduated from a 985 university. Is it unreasonable for me to want a partner who also has at least a bachelor's degree from a 985 university? No, it's not unreasonable. I earn an annual salary between 200,000 and 400,000 when. Is it unreasonable for me to want a partner who earns between 300,000 and 400,000 when? No, it's not unreasonable. I was born in 1990. Is it unreasonable for me to want a partner born around 1990, give or take 3 years? No, it's not unreasonable. I have 300,000 yuan in savings. Is it unreasonable for me to ask for a bride price of 280,000 yuan? No, it's not unreasonable. But if a man meets all these requirements, would he want to be with someone like me? Maybe if he got kicked in the head by a donkey. Think about it. A man earning 400,000 yuan a year, around 30 years old, owns a house and a car, is willing to pay a 280,000 yuan bride price, and is tall and handsome. Would he want an 18-year-old girl? Is that unreasonable? No, no, no. It's not unreasonable. Exactly, and it's not unreasonable for him not to want me either. Right. But if he could choose an 18-year-old girl, why would he choose you? But I'm better than an 18-year-old girl. Better in what way? Older, more wrinkles, higher standards? I don't want to hear that. Then tell me, in what way are you better than an 18-year-old girl? Be specific.
我感觉好不
In what way are you better than an 18-year-old girl? Just listen to that very carefully. We're going to jump back to the video, but guys, I do want to give a quick shout out. So we're now at 1,001 subscribers. We got that 1,000, and evidently the name is Grave Feather. So that's the first person that popped up. We're at 1,001. This is the only person who popped up first. So if you came after him, we're just going to go with Grave. Grave says, here is your 1,000. So there we go, Grave. Congratulations to Grave on being our 1,000th subscriber. Congratulations. Grave Feather 7596 is the 1,000th subscriber. There's your moment. Enjoy your moment, bro. Congratulations. You win nothing. But seriously, thanks for being our 1,000th subscriber. Back to the show.
I feel completely devastated. Over the past 2 days, it feels like everything bad has happened all at once for no reason. I honestly wish there were someone who could share even just a part of this burden with me. But I feel like maybe I'll never find a life companion. I feel utterly helpless. I'm 45 years old, never married, and I don't have children. Let me tell you, you really, really should get married early. Women like me, at this age and still single, we live a life that is truly lonely and miserable. At 45, I no longer have any friends around me. They're all busy at home, taking care of their second child or spending time with their husbands. And me, I can sleep in as long as I want in the morning. Then after work, I go watch a movie alone. It feels incredibly lonely. For example, their purpose in making money is to pay for their kids' tutoring classes. They stand outside the classroom waiting for their children, a life filled with purpose. But me? I just wander the streets aimlessly, buy a cup of coffee, or find somewhere nice to take a few pictures, just to kill time. On holidays or special occasions, they're surrounded by family, enjoying the warmth and joy of being together. Meanwhile, I look for a place where no one knows me, just so I can spend the day alone. If I don't go out, then what else can I do? But honestly, I don't even want to go out. Being alone is so unbearably dull. When friends plan a get-together, everyone is too busy. Spending time with their husbands, going to family events, or helping their kids with homework. Me? I've got nothing going on. I can join any time, instantly, because I have no obligations. It's so hard for me. You can't imagine the depth of loneliness when you live completely alone. So please, no matter what, don't repeat my mistake.
你知道大龄剩女真正的崩溃
Today, I want to share a story from a woman born in 1990.
Now, this woman, I could swear that we've seen her before. Maybe it's just that she looks like someone else, but I could swear we've seen her before, and she was complaining about not being able to find a man and saying that she wishes that she could simp for a man. She'd be happy being a simp, but she can't even find a man that will allow her to simp for him. It could be a different woman. Again, she looks very similar, and the women, like, they change up the makeup so much that it could be the same person but look like two different people. Happens all the time, especially like with some of the YouTubers I follow, especially with South Korean or Asian YouTubers, but are influencers. They're just so much better at makeup than even Western women. Don't get me wrong. It's just insane. But yeah, I mean, there you have it. This woman was 45 years old. Two different women, 45 years old. The second one, or well, technically the third woman that you saw, she basically warned younger women not to rinse and repeat and not to make her mistakes over. That's at least some insight. She explained that it's miserable. It is miserable being a 45-year-old woman who is single and alone. Okay, all she does is wander the streets, go get a cup of coffee, and basically find people to like, like snoop people watch, because she has literally nothing and no one. She has no purpose in life. She can sleep late, but it literally means absolutely nothing. Her children, for her friends, they're busy raising their children. Her friends are busy taking care of their children and spending time with their husbands. They work extra hours so that they can spend that money to put their children in tutoring, and they stand outside of the classroom, outside of the rooms, waiting for their children to be done to collect their children. They actually have purpose and meaning in their lives. Modern women, they have no purpose, they have no meaning, they are just absolutely miserable. And the crazy thing is that most women will see the example of this one woman, because it's only one, this one woman who's telling other women, do not do what I've done. It is a lonely and miserable life. I am a boss babe. I have money in the bank and I am alone and miserable, and it serves no real purpose. I have stuff and it's meaningless to me. And most women will look at this woman and they will ignore her completely, and then go listen to the 52-year-old woman who says that she's still out in the streets, she's still having fun, and she's going to pick and choose, and she has it all. She was married once, she left her husband, and she's having the time of her life. And do not listen to anyone, ladies. Do not settle. Okay? There was a time when they thought settling made sense. Don't ever do it. You will get exactly what you want. And they tell other women this, damn well knowing that what they're doing is leading them down a path of misery, but they don't care, because that's exactly what they want. They want these other women to go and repeat their exact same mistakes and end up with the same exact faith as they do, so that they now can also validate their bad decisions. And misery loves company. This is the reason why black pill is now the next stage. It's the next step, and it's going to just grow further and further. Red pill basically told men that the world is different than you realize it is. It's so much different. The red pill woke us up. The black pill is really showing us just how dark the world really is, just how dark everything really is, just how dark the psychology of the so-called fair sex it actually is. That's what black pill is, and that's really where we're headed right now. Because most women, they will never share this type of knowledge that this other woman is sharing, all right? Or they'll do it begrudgingly. This woman, you can just tell she's tired. You can look at her 100% and you can tell she's tired. She told herself all of the lies, all of the BS. She listened to her emotions, and now she's exhausted. She's emotionally exhausted. She's cried enough. She's lied enough. She's lied to herself, and now she's tired. And now she has to do is the only thing left is to tell the truth. Okay, tell the truth and acknowledge what she's done. And she's the one who's basically ultimately facing the consequences. And it's sad, because telling other women don't do this means very little, because the feminists, the liberated women who are doing this and end up with the regrets, the only way that they're going to be able to validate their bad decisions is by getting more women, as many as they can, to rinse and repeat the same mistakes that they're making. Their only way of surviving and validating their decisions by telling young women to go and throw away their better years, rinsing and repeating the same mistakes that they've made. It's insane, because with men, we tell young men don't do what we've done, and we hope that they listen. With women, they tell young women to do exactly what they've done, hoping that they will listen, so that they can now share into the same fate as them. It sounds insane, but you have to begin to understand female psychology, because women are collectivists by nature. So they would rather men would rather sacrifice themselves to save the group, while women would rather the entire group go down together, rather than sacrificing themselves to save everyone else. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's the way that the psychology honestly works. And that's one of the things that separates men from women. And that's why they know that. That's why they say that men, your legacy will be a legacy of sacrifice. But men are not going to sacrifice themselves that they do not have authority over. A man who, if you have to take responsibility, and if you have responsibilities without authority, that makes you an SLAVE. Think about it, and it's a sad reality, but it's the truth. And that's what they've been trying to do with men in modern day society. But unfortunately, men are more or less done with the crap. Let me see this garbage. Why does Angry Guy sound like a blah, blah, blah? I've been listening to you since 2019. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Haji. Like, dude, you've been listening to me since I was about to block you. You've been listening to me since 2019. You say like he just said like this guy just literally said this in the comments. Like, why do you sound like a 7? Why does Angry Guy sound like a 7-year-old? I've been listening to you since 2019. I mean, dude, it's the sound of my voice. That's how I sound, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I don't hate my voice. I don't hate myself. I really just don't care. I'm not sorry, not sorry if my voice is not deep enough for you. I'm just being honest with you. It's like no one is perfect. I don't think people really get that. All right. And I don't think of it as one of my flaws either. I don't need to be like every other person. I don't need to have this perfect sounding voice. I don't need to have these. Guys, it's no one is perfect. We all have something. All right. Like no one is perfect. And I get, you know what the funny thing is? A lot of people who didn't like the sound of my voice now get pissed off when they don't hear the sound of my voice. Because guess what? You've been with me since what, 2019. So you've been with me for 6 years, right? 6 years, right? On and off. And you're still here. You're still here. Why? Because you like my jokes. You like my humor. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of my character. I can't change it, and I'm not sorry for it. I don't want to sound like like literally the whole crap like sound like that's exactly the problem with women overseas. All right, why don't you have the best sounding voice? Oh my gosh, you're 6 foot, you're handsome, you have all the whole tall, dark, and handsome crap, but I just don't like the sound of your voice. You sound like a little girl. Oh my gosh, I just don't like that. I've got to go look for the next guy. I mean, like I'm just saying. I'm just literally saying, like that's the attitude that so many women have, and I'm just pointing it out. When you make like things like that, like would you rather like go somewhere else? Like, why don't you check out Manosphere Highlights Daily? Would you prefer do you prefer the sound of his voice, or you can go check out what's his name, Richard Cooper, or maybe Zerka, maybe Fresh and Fit. Okay, one of these. There's so many other places for you to go. You can also go check out my favorite Mexican, fritanga, but it's frittata. It's frittata. I love it's lovable frittata. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's a voice that works better for you. We're all different, and the reason why I just honed in on this is the simple fact that that's how women are too. Every little if everything doesn't line up, maybe take some speaking things so I can speak a bit, try to change the sound of my voice to make you happy. Oh God, I tell you guys, these people are crazy. We jump down here. Let's see here. Samantha says, "Happy Men's Mental Health Month." Oh yeah, it is Men's Mental Health Month. Haji says, "We love you, angry. We love you. We love you, angry. We love you." You're saying you love me after you say that my voice sounds like shit. Right, right. Oh my gosh. Haji says, "I'm just playing with you, bro." Yeah, it's hard to know, dude. It could also be that you're just kind of trying to like back up from it now because you smell the block coming, and the only reason why you didn't get the block yet is because you said you've been around since 2019. But yeah, let me see here. Let's see. Brandon, shout out to Brandon. I don't know if there's a Brandon that's been with me for a while. Shout out to Brandon. Says 100% they will ignore her advice until it comes for them. It absolutely, absolutely that. Young says haters got the icks like a woman. Damn. Let me see here. Let's jump over here. Retro Gaming says Richard Cooper, my fellow Canadian. He's got some good stuff. Bro, do y'all notice that when white guys Do you all notice that when white guys literally go dark, like they take the black pill, they all end up looking kind of like Kevin Samuels, like or Andrew Tate's? I'm so serious. Like they shave the head, and suddenly they're like there's the anger. I'm just putting it out there. Like white women in general have basically they've pushed so many men to this position where they just can't deal with it anymore, and you end up with these men who basically end up having to become tougher and stronger and rising above it. And it's funny because a lot of the black guys, I didn't listen. The black guys went through it before we did. They really, really listen up, white guys. The black guys went through it before we did. It happened to their community, the African American guys. It happened to their communities before it started to happen to our communities. All right. And this is the end game. They went through this garbage first. Their communities went downhill first, and then the white ladies, where they were like, "Wow, look at that! Look at what the black ladies have. Now we want that too." And they went rinse to repeat, and now we have more fatherless homes than ever before. And it's an unfortunate reality, but it's a reality. It's a reality that we are stuck with, and it absolutely sucks. It absolutely sucks. I don't know. I need to let me see here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Where is the damn thing? Yeah. I need a pee break. I'm not even going to joke about it or play. I could have tried to put a video running in the background. I'm not even. I need a pee break. Angry needs a pee break. Okay. I was drinking water before, and it's been, I don't know. I'm be 42 in just a few months, and I'm getting older. Definitely not going to get that prostate. They give me when I go to the doctor, they give me the blood work. So they have a blood test that can check your prostate, even if you refuse to let them put the finger up the, what. But regardless, like my prostate's evidently okay, so I don't think it's that. But I gotta go pee. I've had this problem for years. But yeah, Angry needs a pee break, not a poo break, a pee break. So I'm gonna go take a pee. It's gonna be a little pee break. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes, and you guys can reflect on the meaning of life and the fact that there's really not much to really look forward to going forward after this. So I'm gonna take my pee break. I'll be back in just a few minutes. You guys can try to run and go grab a drink from the fridge or think about why everything sucks and is not going to get better. It's not. It's not. But I will be right back. And I'm actually just here drinking water. Oh gosh, drinking water, waiting to jump back in. Gotta hydrate. You know what's actually kind of interesting? What's interesting? I will tell you guys what's interesting. I'll tell you guys what's interesting because this actually, I'm noticing something right now. I notice a pattern. I notice a pattern, right? I'll tell you about the pattern right now. So I just don't feel like making videos every day anymore. It's like you just, it's stress, demoralization. It's life. There's some depression in there. There's some depression in there. And I noticed that when I stepped away and I peed, and it was a decent pee. I didn't take forever. I peed. After I was done peeing, I went and got a bottle of water, a nice bottle of water containing electrolytes, and I drank my water. And I was looking at the, we'll be right back thing. Hold on. Screen you guys were staring at, listening to that music. I don't know if I'd call it elevator music, but it could probably be like waiting music, like telephone waiting music. I don't know. But shout out to StreamYard, by the way. Shout out to StreamYard. But anyway, I was just waiting. I was chilling, having a good time, reflecting on life. And I thought to myself, just like I don't really feel like making videos every day, I also just don't feel like streaming sometimes. And it's like it's tempting because we're having fun, right? I think we're having fun. I think you guys are enjoying yourself at least a little bit, right? You're still here. At least some of you, or most of you. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. But yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, why do I even have to come back? I would rather literally just do nothing. It's not like I didn't sleep last night. And I struggle with sleep. I struggle with sleep. And if I tried to go to sleep again right now, I'd probably just be up for hours laying there in between sleep, but not really sleeping. But I just felt like, why should I even have to do it? Like, there's a fatigue right now among men where we just don't want to do anything anymore. Like, I've worked so hard for over the last 10 years. It's just been constant working since I graduated from high school. Even high school was lots of work. Graduating was lots of work. Where I started working in high school, I've been working my entire damn life. And I look at it now, and there was someone who was like angry, when you become a millionaire, that's when you can go retire. Yeah, that a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that they need to become a millionaire to retire. Oh, once you make that $1 million, by the time you make that $1 million, you now have to keep on working endlessly to keep that million and grow that million. It's a trap. It's a trap. Why? So that when you're 75 years old, maybe you can, go live in the Philippines with a Filipina until you pass away a year or two later, because we're not going to live as long as our parents. 75, let's try 65, which is highly unlikely for people our age, because most of us will never retire. Or we can just basically figure something out while we're still young, pay off our debts while we're still young, and live simple lives of luxury and comfort. And I think that's it. Yeah. Gallant says, ew, SLAVE mentality. Yeah. Yeah. It's like being constantly stuck and plugged in, constantly chasing money for the rest of your days. It's like there's no winning. Like, how much is enough? Well, guys, you're basically just working to subsidize the boomers, the wicked ones, the evil ones. You know, there are many that the Bible warned us about. There are many who are given the label of the Antichrist, and there are many Antichrists, and the baby boomers, they are of that variety. They are definitely of that variety. You know, the evil ones, the wicked ones, the ones that the Bible warned us of, because they have stolen our futures. They have stolen our futures with a smile, and they continue to do it. And working many more years to subsidize these people is a joke, because the more you work, the more taxes you have to pay, and the more taxes you pay, the more you give to the baby boomers who don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. I don't care what they say. All right, stop blaming generations. You mean after your generation stole everything? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see here. Galan said that he started the challenge years ago, decade ago. It's a waste of time sticking around so you're just chasing money. Samantha says, "What can I do to stop my son from foregoing his masculinity?" Samantha, Samantha, are you actual woman or are you a guy? Because some of the guys use a man's name. Some of the guys use a woman's name. Like we have people who use the picture of a woman or use a woman's name, but it's actually a dude. Are you a dude? Are you a man or are you a woman? Are you the mother or are you the father of this young man who may lose their masculinity? And how old is your son, by the way, Samantha, if you're still watching? How old is your son? Let's talk about it. I'm surprised. I am surprised how many people are watching right now. I thought it would be a little bit more. It's about 42 on YouTube. Got about 15 over on Rumble. I know my Rumble people are pissed off with me because I haven't been doing as much streaming, or the streams have been kind of pre-recorded. But I know some of y'all have been upset, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And the thing is, when you're on Rumble, you have quotas. We actually have streaming quotas. Like we have to drop a certain amount of content every single month. They don't give a damn. There are no like off days on Rumble. Like we have to actually meet quotas on Rumble if we want to remain as partners. So I have to drop a certain amount of content every month on Rumble if I want to remain in their good graces. They don't play games. They don't play games over on Rumble. Like, they're like, it's a privilege, you know? So it is what it is. It is what it is. And now that I do have employees, got to make sure to pay those employees, and to pay said employees, every little bit helps. Some of y'all are like, "Oh, I don't understand why it's so hard for you to record these videos, Angry. All you're doing is just talking." Talking, doing thumbnails, having to deal with all kinds of stuff. Well, come on, y'all. Have a little empathy for the angry guy. Let's see if we got a response from Samantha. I don't know. Did Samantha respond? Let me see. I'll go over to YouTube and see if they respond. Okay. Oh, Samantha might actually be a woman. Samantha might actually be a woman because their image is a woman. I think Samantha is actually a woman. I went over to their channel and they have videos on the channel with their like daughter or something and them. So I think Samantha is actually a chick. I mean, I don't know how old her son is. But what can she do to stop her son from losing his masculinity? One of the things that should be done, and I'm not telling her to go and put on Andrew Tate videos and sit him down with, and let Uncle Andrew do his thing. But one important thing is to ensure that he has a father in his life. So if his father is there, he needs to be more active. He needs to spend more time with him. He needs to spend time with other men. He needs to learn how to be a man. A woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. Even if she's trying her best, a woman will only reinforce the idea of what she thinks a man should be. versus what a man actually is, and that could lead to him feeling pressured and disconnected. You know, so a woman should not be trying to teach a man how to be a man. That's something that comes from a man. If you don't have a father in his, if he doesn't have a father in his life, then to be very honest, it's going to be much harder. It's not impossible. You can find male mentors for him. That's one of the best things to do. You can enroll him in things, activities like mixed martial arts, or I think boxing is actually the best one. It depends on his interest. But in terms of self defense, boxing is much better than mixed martial arts because mixed martial arts, like grappling and that kind of stuff, you can learn how to defend yourself. But even mixed martial artists, when they're in an actual fight, when they actually have to defend themselves, they resort to boxing realistically. You know, like that's the real, if you want to learn how to defend yourself, boxing is the number one thing. And putting him into boxing might be a good place for him where he can bond with other men, not karate, because like that's basically karate, that's what I call it. Karate has been infiltrated very long ago. It's all about choreography. It's not about self-defense. This is in Cobra Kai. So I would basically put him in a place where he has access to male figures, and self development, where he's working on himself physically, mentally, spiritually. I would not send him to the church. Do not send your kid to the church. Keep your kid out of the church. If he wants to he should have a relationship with God, but the church does not the church does not reinforce masculinity. The modern church actually reinforces conformity and submission. You see, you have to remember that the church is aligned with women, just like the state is aligned with women. And the purpose of the church, just like the purpose of the state, is to extract wealth and resources from men and reallocate them from men to the state, or in that case, the church, because the church is equivalent to the state. So just like the state works with women, women will operate as agents of the state to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state. Women will also operate as agents of the church to reallocate wealth and resources from men back to the church. And you have to be very, very careful with that. The church is not and never really has been a place for men. Okay, there are men who take advantage of the church, and people who go to the church and use that influence to extract wealth and resources from them. But that is not a place for a man to find God, nor to protect his masculinity. A man has to basically walk his own path, but he does need guidance. Boys need guidance, and the only way they're going to really get that guidance is from other men who are not telling them that they're terrible for being men or terrible for being boys, men who are not constantly just putting them down, men who actually engage them. So that's to raise a man, to make a man, to make your son not lose his masculinity. You have to ensure that, one, he's not spending all of his time in like an environment where girls are being praised and boys are being shamed. You have to be very careful with the modern day school system. I would recommend homeschooling your son if it's possible. That's one thing all parents should be doing right now, not just parents of boys, but also parents of girls, because the school system is not good for girls. It basically is confusing girls just like it's confusing boys. So all parents should really, if you can raise your son, if you can homeschool your son, then you should homeschool your son. You should not be sending your children to school. Shouldn't be sending them to any to you really shouldn't even be sending your kids to college. It's hard to say it like that. Like unless they want to be like a doctor or a lawyer, and they're really sure on that, and you're sure they're going to do it. Because like I wanted to be a doctor. I never became a doctor, but I did waste a lot of money on that path. Then they have no place, and they have really no place there. There we go. My my former and maybe future co-host, MK Fitness Mobile. Well, he changed the name of his channel. It was MK Fitness in the Philippines, and he changed it to MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines. I'm waiting for what comes next. I'm honestly waiting for what comes next, but we'll see how that goes. But I've talked religion with MK before. You know, this guy legit said once something like, "I'm not as into." He did apologize, like I don't know as much. Honestly, I don't know as much about the Bible than he does, but I forgot what happened, and there was some humbling involved, and I'm glad he was able to grow grow from that. That was a long time ago, like a year. I don't know if it was a year or 2 years ago. But he says he does actually know a lot about the Bible and the church. He says the church is an extension of the state. Yeah, yeah, it is, and yet you still go to the church sometimes. Last I knew. I'm teasing, not entirely, but I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Got to preserve those friendships. But he's absolutely right. It is an extension of the state. Okay, it's another form of the state. This is the reason why they separate church and state. And the funny thing is that many people don't comprehend that the church works with the state. This is, the church and the state, they work together. This is why, the law says that, uh, that the state can be friendly with the church. What the hell does that mean, right? We all know what it means. It means that they can basically be in collusion with one another. They can be in collusion. That's really what it is. Samantha says, "Thank you, angry." Samantha says, "Fuck public schools." Okay, so I'm glad she understood that from the get go. Yeah, glad she understood that from the get go. Yeah, she came back at some point. Yeah, public schools are absolute garbage. Really, really, they really are. Okay, you guys are really going at her. You guys are going at her. I mean, at least she's trying. At least she's trying. Let me see here. You guys are getting very mean to Samantha. I mean, at least she's trying to correct. Haji says Samantha Winter has come for you, so I'm assuming that she's a single mother. And then the other comments I cannot read. Again, Samantha, I am not attacking you. All right, I gave you honest answer. You're welcome, but you have to understand there are a lot of men who are pissed off, especially with the whole single motherhood thing. The single motherhood thing has created a lot of problems in society. I mean, it may be the single most terrible thing that's happened in society that's led to a lot of these disparities. Shout out to Ashy Negro. Ashy Negro. Shout out to Ashy Negro. I'm glad he's in the comments. Shout out to Ashy. Good to see you, Ashy. I know you guys have been pissed off. He's a part of the OG Rumble crew. Can you imagine the Rumble crew back like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, before I got so sick? So I know like he's probably been pissed. Like, where the hell has Angry been? I forget if he was one of the channel supporters too. He says the church expects you to simp for these modern women, promotes feminism, and feeds the illusion of modern day hippie Jesus. I'm never going back. Yeah, and again, Jesus is great. I love Jesus. He's incredible. But they definitely tried to disillusion you. They 100% do. Retroid says in Canada, if a child wants to change who they are, a parent cannot prevent it, and they can be jailed. It's just not right. Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. MK says another TradCon cosplayer. Oh boy. Haji says Samantha, pay your own way. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Ashy says, angry, I thought you passed away. No, I'm not gone yet. Yeah, I'm not gone yet. I can't say how much longer I'll be here, but I'm not gone yet. Even if I go radio silent, it does not even necessarily mean that I passed away. What it may actually mean is that I've basically come completely debt free, and I've decided to just become a straight up minimalist and live below my means, far below my means, a simple life of luxury and comfort. That could happen too, y'all. Like that's my dream right now. Like, here's the thing. I'll tell you guys something. So last year, I was pretty much almost completely out of debt. This year, I've got debts again. I've got all kinds of bills, but I was pretty much debt free last year, and I decided to no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna put my life savings in crypto. I really did this. I put my life savings in crypto, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna suffer. I'm just gonna suffer. I'm gonna keep on working, and I'm gonna plan for the future. And I regret it. I honestly do regret it. I invested all of my savings. I decided that I was going to buckle down and stick around. And I wish I had given up. I'm not going to play. I wish I had given up because I was pretty much out of debt. and which is something a lot of people can't say, right? I didn't have any immediate debt I needed to cover, and I was working on getting rid of anything I would have to cover, and I was pretty much out of debt, and I could have walked away. I could have basically, oh my god. I think to myself, what did I do? What did I do, y'all? I didn't have to be here right now. I wouldn't have to be working anymore. I have, I built my, I have multiple, streams of income. I could have, guys, I literally could just do nothing. I could spend my entirety of my days just playing video games, relaxing, relaxing, maxing, jerking off, and then, rinse, repeat, and then do it all over again. You know, that life that Gen Z enjoys. I haven't had beer in many years. I don't drink, but I would like to start drinking again. You know, I think about cigarettes. I don't smoke. I haven't had a cigarette in years, but I would like to start smoking again. I would like to start smoking again. I live a pretty healthy life. I don't really eat carbs like that. But guys, I just kind of like I tell you, I want to walk away. I want to walk away, and that's how so many men. There. Those of you who are listening, I think Alon said it that have walked away, and I want to walk away so bad. This is a hard. This is a job. This is an actual job. Like like when tax season rolls around, all these people who I'm paying, and this costs money to do to maintain this business and make content for you. And I know many of you are like, well, Angry, come on, man. Don't you love us? You know what I would love more, even more? Doing nothing. Doing literally nothing. All right. So I can't pull it off yet. Can't pull it off yet. I made investments and I have to see my investments through, bought a little stock too. And I should have, like I said, I could have just left. I could have left like a shadow. I could have been out like a thief in the night. And that would have been it. This is what a lot of men do. I was free. I was free. And yet I was like, no, I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to invest. I can be a millionaire in the future. I can have lots of, for who? For who? For a wife or kids that I'm never going to have? I'm never getting married. No way in hell. By the grace of God, I don't know what would happen. Hell no. Heck no. Heck no. You know? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just kind of pissed off. Just kind of pissed off. I was almost free. I was almost free. Let's see here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Let's see here. Majin says, angry man smoke 420. Yeah, I don't smoke. I'll explain why I don't smoke 420. So there was a period of time where I did smoke. I did do the whole 420 thing. And when I did 420, I would basically disappear for months. Like if I do 420, I don't work. There's no work. There's no working. There's no content. Like that's basically the end of it. There's nothing else. There's nothing like if I do 420, I've done it. Years ago I did 420 and I stopped working. I would disappear for months at a time. I would spend hundreds or even, thousands of dollars on some 420 and I would just sit there and do nothing. All right. So no, you don't want me to do 420. I'm not Joe Rogan. I can't. Joe Rogan can do 420 and be productive. I cannot do. In fact, he says that he needs 420 to be productive. I think. I don't. Forgive me if I'm. Joe can forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think he said like it helps him maybe. So he can do 420 and be productive. I cannot do 420 and be productive. I do 420. I'm literally like, fuck these bills. Forget this podcast. F these subscribers. Like, all right. Like I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna roll this joint. All right, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I won't do anything. I won't play video games. I won't watch television. I will do no work. I won't even pay my bills. I will just do 420, and that's it. So I have not done 420 in many, many years. Many, many years. I have no plans on doing 420 anytime soon. But if I, can leave this, if I can leave, if I can get away from my job, because this is my job, if I can get away from my job and run away, if I can run away from this, then, yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. MK MK says that Samantha is fishing for a simp. Does seem like that. Let me see here. He says she's a simp fisher. Samantha says, I'm not, I promise. Oh gosh. Galan says the monk life is for me. I'm telling y'all, that monk life, bro. That monk life. Jay Dillon says, angry, could you read my last comment? Let me see. Let me see. Could you read my last comment? Let me try to find your comment. Jay Dillon. What was this? What's your last comment? I gotta go hunt for it now. All right. Okay. So his comment is that men and women are basically incompatible. They're only brought together to have kids to keep us humans from dying out. Male/female relationships are doomed. Male/female relationships are usually doomed to fail from the start. I agree with that entirely. I agree with that. I do agree that I do believe that at our core, men and women are not compatible because women will always want more. And the only reason why we are able to coexist is because out of necessity, not out of desire. For example, women don't necessarily desire to be with us. They desire to have what we have. Okay. Men desire women. Women do not desire us. Ultimately, they want to be entertained, but they don't actually like us. They will never love us for who we are. When you compared to dogs will love you unconditionally. A dog, as long as you don't treat it poorly, and even when you treat them poorly, they still love you. It's so different with a pet. Not cats. Cats are bastards. But dogs, a dog will love you unconditionally. And if it's amazing because men and women are just the female version, should just be the female version of men, and yet they're not. Their brains are so different. They're wired so differently that the differences between a man's brain and a woman's brain and the way that we think and operate are so great that we could almost be two different species. And yet, men and dogs are wired for one another. We are wired like dogs are biologically wired to seek out human beings. Like they are domesticated at the biological level. A dog can be born and never see a human being. And the first time it sees a human being, it consciously knows to go to the human being. And we are drawn to our dogs. We are drawn to our pets. We are wired for one another, and yet, yet men and women, we are not wired for one another. Samantha says, "I promise I'm not a modern woman." Samantha, I will. Samantha says that she's not a modern woman. Samantha, are you a single mother? I don't know if you revealed this. Are you a single mother, Samantha? And if you are a single mother, how did you end up a single mother? And again, that's if you're a single mother. If you're not a single mother, cool. But if you are a single mother, let me just say it in the comments. And unless I missed it already, and even if I did, just say it again. And if you are a single mother, just tell us how you became a single mother. MK says jerking off, maxing. I mean, honestly, you don't even have to worry about jerking off, MK. You have your Filipina, all right? So you've got the booty on, call, all right? You've got the kitty on call. You don't even need that. Granted, you can if you want to, but you have someone else to empty your balls and fill your belly for you. So I mean, you're good with that. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Retro says the way society has become, I've become disengaged and refuse to play the game in this fake world. I agree with you on that. Let's keep going. Samantha says, don't get married. I agree with that. She says, I said, don't get married. Did you read my comment? Okay. Samantha says that she supports MGTOW. Be careful. I'm one of the real founders of MGTOW. The OG founders of MGTOW are real. It's like are really Barbarossa, Stardust, but I was there at the beginning. I'm one of the people who helped build that community. I'm one of the OGs of MGTOW before I left that. And I understand the thing about Samantha, I will tell you, I'm not an MGTOW 100%, but I would say be very careful with the MGTOWs because they don't support you. Okay. And I respect the fact that you say that you support it, but I don't think you understand what MGTOW really is. These are men who have gone their own way, walking away. I'm an MWA, right? And I'm the founder of MWA. And MWA is men who are men with alternatives. So if they want a relationship, they may find a relationship. MGTOWs are not looking for a relationship. They have completely opted out of dating and relationships. They don't want to have anything to do with not simply modern women, but relationships in the modern society. They're done. Do some MGTOWs return and go and look for a relationship? Yes, but they're no longer MGTOWs then. MGTOWs, it was one MGTOWs from its inception, MGTOW 2.0. It was originally men choosing not to get married, not have children, instead focus on themselves and their own happiness. They could still date, but it was typically not recommended. And then it became, MGTOW, what I call 3.0, which is men separating themselves socially, financially, and economically from women in the state. And that's where we are right now. So you'll find very few MGTOWs that actually agree with you. So so I would be very. I understand, like you saying that you support MGTOW, but don't miss again. I'm not one of them, but don't think they want to be your friends. Most of them do not want to be your friends. That is a community of men who are apathetic, they are indifferent, and they don't want to have anything to do with dating or relationships, or yeah, just they're like, oh, a woman supports us. Yeah, so and I'm just being very clear on that. You're welcome here in this space. You're welcome to talk, share your thoughts. I'm not chasing you. I'm not being mean or nasty to you. Not whatsoever. Not chasing you off. I can't control what the other guys say here. And I'll be honest and genuine. Like if I think that you're like being full of it, I'm not gonna be nasty to you, but I'll call you out. But I'm not saying you are. But in terms of MGTOW saying that you support I don't think any woman should say that they support MGTOW because MGTOW is not men on strike. It's sad. Like that's what women don't understand when they say things like I support MGTOW. MGTOW is not men on strike. MGTOW is men who've completely opted out. Men going their own way. They're not coming back. Okay? They've given up. They're done and they've left. So women saying that they support MGTOW is not necessarily. It's basically saying that you support men completely avoiding relationships forever with women. That's what I don't understand. I don't think women comprehend it. Like this, no woman should say that she supports MGTOW. MGTOW is men literally not having relationships anymore. It's not men on strike. It's not men saying I'm like, oh, until women change and society changes, I'm not. No, they're not. No. That might be a man walking away. There's some men who've walked away and they don't intend to have any relationships, but it doesn't mean that they will never have a relationship ever again. MGTOWs are men who have basically sworn off dating a relationship forever. Forever. Are there men who do listen to the MGTOW philosophy? and will go back to relationships. Yes, but those are not MGTOWs. Okay, those are maybe MWAs, men walking away, men with alternatives. But MGTOW is a completely different thing. Those are the men from the Mouse Utopia, who doesn't matter if you take them and move them to the Philippines or another society where the relationship between men and women has not collapsed. They're not going into other relationships. Women should not say they support MGTOW, because to say that they support MGTOW is to say that they support men completely abstaining from forever from relationships with women. Think about the logistics there. Let me see here. You guys are being so mean to Samantha. Gallant says the black pill is the final pill. It really is. There is no pill after the black pill. The black pill is basically real. The red pill wakes you up to the realities of the world, and and then the black pill shows you just how bad things actually are, just how dark things actually are, just how dark women in society can actually be. Samantha says, "I support men going monk mode." Samantha, do you? I don't know. Are you? I don't know. You're basically saying that to say that you support men going monk mode means that it's to say that you support gender. It's to say that you basically support, like, I don't support. I'm not necessarily out, like, it's to basically say that you're supporting separation of men and women in society. I mean, if that's what you truly believe in, cool. But that's what you're saying that you support, because I don't think you understand what these things actually are. And I know there's a little bit of a delay reading your comments, but I'm going through the comments gradually. Why is Western society anti-male? I mean, you should be able to figure that out. So you could look around how men are treated in society by women. If you don't know why Western society is so anti-male, then I can't help you with that, because anyone can look and see like how men are treated by women in society, and you can begin to get a basic idea of that. Women help to make this a reality. Samantha says, "I'm sorry. It's fine. I'm not trying to demonize you in any way whatsoever. I'm not trying to tell you that you have to leave as long as you're polite and respectful. I'm just kind of like trying to like show you, like saying you support MGTOW or you support monk mode. Do you even understand what monk is? Monks are men who've completely disappeared from society. They won't even A lot of monks will not even be in the same room as a woman. You think that when society change, like, these men are not on strike. These men just want their peace. They're completely done. So to say that you support that, I'm not being yelling at you. I'm just trying to explain this to you. Let me see here. Samantha says, "No, I'm not a single mother." That's awesome. That is awesome that you are not a single mother. I've watched channels like yours because the anti-male propaganda is wrong, and I have men in my life that I care about. That's awesome. That's good to know. That's good to know. And like I said, I cannot control how a lot of the men here feel, but I'm not attacking you. I don't HATE women. I honestly don't. I'm one of the nicer guys, to be honest. I'm not calling myself a nice guy, but I'm just not. I'm a decent person, all right. But I cannot control how a lot of these men feel. Hmm. Galan says MGTOW is either 100% subjugation or nothing at all. That is true. And the thing is, even with that, a lot of these men will not have relationships still. That's the craziest thing. Like, a lot of these men, because they're going to say that they don't want relationships with women who have extremely high body counts and so forth, or they don't even want a relationship. Period. They don't want the stress. They don't want the arguing. They don't want the responsibility. They don't even want to take the chance. They're like, oh, but everything is like you like they don't vote anymore. And, yeah, but look at what do they really have to offer? Yeah, I'm happy. I can make my own steak. I can clean my own toilet. I don't. Yeah, I'm not going back. But thanks anyway. Like these guys, they're funny. They're kind of funny. You're not gonna get these guys. A lot of them, you're never gonna get them back. Devon says MGTOW has been going for many years, at least 15 or so. Yeah, I mean, I was one of the OGs. Oh my gosh. Just so you know, I'm the person who popularized the term MGTOW monk. I made a video many years ago called The Honorable Monks of MGTOW. I was the face of MGTOW at one point. You know, let's see here. Yeah, Brandon says MGTOW are men who are done with relationships. They are. They absolutely are. MK says Sam is a government agent. Damn. Let me see here. Haji says that she's a sleeper agent working for CIA and British government. Damn. Y'all really are not taking any chances. Sam says I don't like politics. Geraldo says this is why I stay single, because I can't deal with the drama, with their drama and BS. Let's see here. Ashley says, see ya 333 says, we aren't the same. That's okay. When I'm with my friends and family, we go out and do something. We are around other people. It's unavoidable. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. I tell you, life is so interesting. There was more for me to do. There was a lot more for me to do and a lot more for me to say. We've been stirring for like how long? An hour? Let me see here. Let's see here. Samantha. Can I call you Sam? Let's call you Sam. Sam says, I don't blame men for wanting relationships. When I hear the name Sam, I think of Sam from Samantha LaRusco from Cobra Kai, who was like she created so many problems. If you guys watch Cobra Kai, she's played by Mary Mauser. She created so many problems. Even at some point, her father was like, come on, Sam, you've been going from guy to guy. Like, what's wrong with you? DeVoe says 70s and 80s were the blissful times. They really were. They really, really were. Majin says, angry guy. I think I'm about joining the MGTOW club. Indeed. Yeah, a lot of these guys are women. Women are the people who help that thing to grow. Without them, it would never have grown so big, so large. Yeah. But guys, friends, enemies, neutrals. Ashley says, angry, this is the hangout. We don't need a ton of daily videos, but can we move on from Nintendo? Nintendo's paying the bills right now, so the channel doesn't really get. Here's the thing. You know, I've spoken to my I have a connection, as you guys know, and I basically, when I've spoken to YouTube about it, they can't really help me on that front. The Nintendo videos actually perform very well on the channel right now. So those are the videos that are basically helping to pay the bills. But I will try to do more content like this where I talk about these subjects that deviate away from Nintendo, as long as it doesn't affect the company, as long as it doesn't affect the traffic that the channel is getting, because it's basically we're getting most of our views from talking about Nintendo right now. And you basically have to follow the algorithm. Many of you guys may not care, but I have bills. I have to pay my employees. I have to make money so that I can cover the streaming software you're using right now. I'm using StreamYard right now. It's not free. This software costs me easily $600 a year or more. And that's with a discount. So that I've fortunately received. So it's like none of this is free. Like the content that I'm making for you guys, none of it's free. It costs money. The people who are making content, Andy and Malbo, they cost money. Everything has to be paid for. So we have to make content that gets views, and from those views we make money, and from that money I can pay my employees and the bills and for the software and all the other stuff, so that I can continue making content for you guys. In terms of making this kind of content, I've been very ill, which is the reason why I have to rely so much on employees. And plus, well, there's the illness and also the burnout. I'm not going to lie, I'm also very burnt out, but that's just kind of the reality of things right now. Let's see here. Haji says, we need more deep ranting with you, Angry, and MK Fitness. That's when MK wants to return. He did actually tell me. It was like a long time ago. It's like, the next time you stream, like, let me know and I'll jump on. I don't know that. I feel like that was a year ago. I feel like that was a year ago because I just have not been as active. I don't know. Ashley says there's other gaming stuff. Those guys are gaming YouTubers. I know. I've tried doing other topics outside of Nintendo that are not related to Nintendo, and they don't get those views. Like for example, Fritanga, he can basically talk about PlayStation and still get a massive amount of views. I talk about anything other than Nintendo screwing over the consumer, and no one wants to hear about it. I talk about Nintendo bricking consoles. That's 18,000 views, man. It's like, don't ask me why. Don't. That's like how messed up the algorithm is. It's basically if there's like a role to fill, but I'll just have to experiment more and keep on seeing what works and where I can go and how I can phrase things. But right now it's just basically Nintendo controversy and people pissed off with Nintendo. That's really what the algorithm wants me to talk about. But I'm working on it. I know you guys want more content like this. I cover these types of subjects, so that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Haji says, talk about coming movies pivot. I can look into that's something I can consider. That's something I can consider. Let me see here. Samantha pointed out that there's a story where a woman basically Control Alt deleted her father because of Trump's victory. I don't know if that's true. That's unfortunate. Terrible. Haji says, Angry play long story single player games like Uncharted 4 and just talk. That takes practice. Maybe I'll do that soon. I've got like a better office setup coming soon. So maybe once I have that set up, I might do some streaming for you, playing games and just talking. But it actually takes a lot of talent, because remember, it takes a lot of talent just sitting there and talking, and at the same time, sometimes like if you're watching, like it's different when you're watching the streamer play. I mean, I can always put on my I can always like do the whole emoticon, like the whole VTuber thing where you have the animated thingy majiggy. You know what I'm talking about? Animated avatar. But even then, it's like it can vary, and it's like it takes a lot of skill to play games and also focus on be engaged with the audience. Because guys, you might not realize this, but I have to keep you entertained. I have to think of jokes for you guys. I have to I have to get my brain is, so it's like I'm playing the game, but my brain is also working. It takes a bit of practice. Farrah Dark is actually pretty good at it, but it does take a bit of practice. Might do it again soon for you guys. I honestly just don't want to do anything. I'm just being honest. I just feel like doing literally nothing. Haji says, all we need is to hear you play and talk when you get views. I promise. Eh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Nova says, feminist one moment, don't need no man. The next, where did all the men go? I actually thought about ending the stream a little bit ago, but I need to pee. I need to pee again. It's the 42-year-old in me. It's the 42-year-old in me. And on one hand, I've got you guys listening, and I can keep talking and keep watching the video together, which is nice. Or I can basically go and do nothing, and it's so tempting. It's so tempting to just go and do nothing by myself. And I'm not an introvert; I'm an extrovert, but I just can't be bothered anymore. Oh, it's so tempting. Should I end the stream, or should I go and just put you guys on be right back and go pee and then continue the stream? and I have no real need to end the stream other than I just don't want to work. I don't feel like having to be bothered. Like I'm just fed up. Like I don't even want to be bothered anymore. It's like I just like it's like literally that like that song, like fuck this shit, I'm out. Now fuck this shit, I'm out. I don't really care. I just want to get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit up. That's where I'm at right now. I'm literally like that song. If you know the song that I'm talking about, then you know how I feel. It's like you just want to be out and do nothing. I didn't even want to do the stream. I didn't even want to do the stream for you guys. It was, but we were gonna hit 1,000 subscribers, and I was like, by if I waited until tomorrow, maybe I wouldn't have done it at all. So I was like, screw it, I'll do the 1,000 subscriber stream, and now I am here doing the 1,000 type subscriber stream, but I don't really want to be here. It's like I want to, but I don't want to be here. I just kind of want to go curl up in bed and do nothing, and just wait for the meteor, and you might think the meteor isn't real. It's like the One Piece. It's real. It's real. Okay. I think I'm gonna go take the pee. I think I'm gonna go take the pee again, and then come back and keep on talking to you. Sadly, so I'll be back. I'll be back in just a little bit. I'll go and take the pee, and I'll be back in a little bit and keep talking to you. Yeah, it's gotta, I'm back, but it's like, do you really want to go back to that life? You really want to go back to the life of streaming, of having to do this every single day? You know, do you really want that? Ashley says, angry. Have you been tracking Ripple? Big things are coming. Good things may be coming. Good things may be coming. Oh, God. Majin says, do not fap on the toilet when you flush. Act like it's nothing. Jesus. This guy. This guy. Let's see here. Let me read some of these comments. Ugh. Galan says, there was a woman in Australia called Kobe, and she set a male friend. Oh, can't read that. Can't read that. Not while we're still streaming here. Haji says it's okay to go pee. You see here. Noel says us men flying through the horizon and run through the sunset. Devon says try being 58. I hear you on that one. I do hear you on that one. Modern women do not know the hard times that are really coming for them. Samantha says society will always need men. What the fuck are feminists talking about? Yeah, there's nothing that can be done at this point, Sam. There's no hope for society. You have to understand women cannot change. They cannot go backwards. Most of them were raised with feminist ideologies. Even if they say they want to change, they are not genuine because they were not raised to be wives and mothers. They were raised to be boss babes. They were raised to view men as disposable objects that are just there to provide them with attention, time, and money, to be their ATMs. They were raised and told that men are just there to serve them, and women exist solely to be served and to enjoy the adventure known as life. So there won't be any change in Western society. If humanity does continue on, it will be a fractured existence, something like out of Cyberpunk 2077, where you have a very fragmented Western society. Maybe the United States is no longer the United States. It's now broken up into different factions. And you have something like Night City, where people are basically addicted to the chaos. Yeah. Sir says, I want you to start streaming again. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you want me to start streaming again, you guys also do have to contribute to the stream. Like, if you want streaming on a daily basis, if you want me to stream on a daily basis again, you guys do have to contribute to the stream. You do have to donate to the stream. Like, you guys don't really donate. And I don't ask you for donations, but you do have to contribute to the stream because I have employees to pay. My time is valuable, right? So if you make my life easier, if you make it easier for me to pay my employees, not even pay my bills, pay my employees, then that might encourage me. That will definitely encourage me to stream more. Because if I'm making an income, I'm getting an income doing these streams for you guys, then I have more of an incentive to be streaming more often, and providing you guys with more value. Because having employees is the smartest thing you can really do. It takes time to find them, but it allows you to maintain your brand. That's why you have people like Linus Tech Tips, even MKBHD. All of these people that started out as, relatively small and then well-known YouTube streamers, they have an entire team behind them. So it's like, guys, I have a team of people now working for me. A small team, but I have a team of people who work for me that collect a regular income working for me. And that's not even counting the, the contractors that I use from time to time. You know, I have a bunch of just regular 1099 employees working for me now. 1099 employees. And that's how it is. I can actually have Andy start focusing on more content like this because he does want to do more videos like this. It's just like where I talk about these topics. He has, he has a channel called Andy Society, and he talks about manosphere topics, but we began focusing only on Nintendo. But he really does want to talk about more stuff like this, what we're doing here in this video. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if I would give him like the whole streaming to like have him do the streaming. I think that's something you guys want me to do. But I can start trying to see if we can work some more of that in. But you guys have to support. Like I said, it's hard. It's very, very hard because it's such a balancing act. And you guys ask for more. Like I want you to stream. It's Happy says we need live streams. Gallant. Gallant says, boomers literally get to ride off into the sunset. They will be gone soon. They're bastards. They won't entirely be gone, but they'll enjoy everything. They will enjoy the down. They're basically the Oppenheimers. Ashley says, welcome to the new Roman Empire, Samantha. Ashley says, Gallant, it's more likely that Gen Z will be gone before the boomers. Exactly. That is completely true. That is completely true. Those muffins. Anyone else notice they've gotten really silent lately? I'm not saying they don't pop up from here time to time, but they suddenly got really silent, and you're like, why are they so silent? Why did the muffins suddenly get very, very silent? And it's probably because I saw comments from that they're just basically crashing out now, and they don't have the energy to do like complete crash out, so they're saving their crash out energy. Oh man. Boomers really fucked everything up, didn't they? They really did. Those are some bad apple boomers, man. The bad apple boomers. No good. No good at all. Let me see here. Let's see what we have here. Samantha said Ninja Gaiden is peak. How old are you, Samantha? How old are you, Sammy? How old are you? How old, Sam? I don't know if I don't think I saw your comment. Like I had asked how old is your son, and I don't think you told me how old your son is. How old is your son? And how old is? If you told me already, I apologize for asking again. But how old are you, and how old is your son? Curious. I am curious about that. But I'm looking through the comments and I don't see that. But just tell me again how old you are and how old your son is. Galad says, philosophical gamer hates you. He worships these bad muffins. I know he does. I know he worships them. And my it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Is he I don't know, is he a Gen Zer or is he a millennial? I think he's a millennial, a younger millennial. I think he's a younger millennial. I don't think Samantha's in her 40s. Let me see if I can find her profile for you guys. Like Skibidi Bop Richard. This is Richard, Review Tech USA, signing off. Oh gosh. You guys remember Review Tech USA before he blew up his channel? Where he deleted his channel and went he basically took the nuclear option. Like don't ever go full Review Tech USA. Don't ever go full Review Tech USA. So I mean, yeah, Sam is a real person. This is her profile over here on YouTube. This is her YouTube profile. So I'm assuming that's Sam in the picture right here. I think she's maybe Hispanic. Mexican concert, so maybe I'm Mexican. But she is a real person. She is a real mujeres. Mujer. Real mujer. There we go. I let the tongue roll there. Mujer. Mujer. Oh, God, I need to work on my Spanish so much. Necesito practicar español mucho más. Mucho tiempo no habla mucho español. Yeah. And the thing is, I can practice with like probably angry Dominicano because he speaks that Dominican Spanish and he's warned me about it. But still, I gotta work on my Spanish. Even if I don't use it as often, I've got to work much harder on my Spanish because without Spanish, you're kind of like naked in this world. Like if I ever had kids, like Spanish is not a second language. Spanish is a primary language. They have to speak Spanish. Any kids I have to speak Spanish. If I have Japanese kids, they have to speak Spanish. After living in Mexico, living in a Spanish speaking country, you learn just how naked you are in this world without Spanish. Spanish is the most spoken language in the world, not Mandarin. China is just one country. So yes, because China has so many people, it's they try to say, oh, it's the most spoken Mandarin is the most spoken language in the world. It's not. It's spoken in one country. Spanish, on the other hand, is spoken in more countries than any other language in the entire world. So you need to know Spanish. You need to know at least enough Spanish to get by. Everyone has to know Spanish. Everyone must know Spanish. That's just how it is. I'm just being so real with that. Let me see. Let me see if Sam said anything. Okay. She did respond. Sam says, Samantha, Majin had said that she was in her 20s, in her 40s, but Sam says that I'm in my early 20s. Oh, so you have your son is you didn't tell me how old your son is, but I guess he's going to be pretty damn young. I think your son is only a little kid right now. So you still have time to prevent him from losing his masculinity and going downhill. And you are Mexican, right? I think you're Mexican. I mean, I lived in Mexico, so honestly, there are some I forget the term, machismo men, very masculine men in Mexico still. You should maybe have those men in your family. I would introduce there's still masculine men in Mexico. I would introduce your son to those men. Like you're in if you are Mexican and you still have connections to Mexico. I know you might not like the idea because I know a lot of Mexican guys can be crazy, but compared to like American men who are just straight beta males at this point, and again, I'm not saying Mexican men are perfect, but you can find, I get it. Again, I lived in Mexico for a very long time, pretty long time, but so I know I'm not saying that all of the men there are perfect, but I would say that you have a better shot at fight. Even men that may be Mexican men that may be living in the U.S., you'd have a better shot at finding better role models among these men. Let them spend time with these men if you have them in your family, and go from there. Because American men are just simps at this point, or broken, you know. But yeah, I would take your son. I would honestly take your son to Mexico. I would take your son to Mexico. I'd have him spend more time in Mexico. I'd have him, because it's just a better quality of life. I don't know where you are from in Mexico. I don't know where your family may be from. If you even have a connection to the country anymore, you know. But I would definitely say look into like family members, male Mexican family members, because there are still some men there's still masculinity in Mexico. Um, Majin says, "Wow, I'm 33. I'm older than you." I guess he's saying that to Sam. He's older than her. Gallant says, "I know zero Spanish." Yeah, Gallant, you need to learn Spanish. You need to learn Spanish. Let me tell you something. Knowing Spanish is an amazing tool. You go to like if you're in a position where you can speak Spanish and you're in like a I'm not saying like you go to prison, you want to be in prison, but you go to prison and you can speak Spanish, it opens up an entirely different world for you. It absolutely does, and people will treat you differently if you can communicate in Spanish. I'm just being honest with you. You really want to learn Spanish. People will do much more for you and feel much more comfortable with you when you speak Spanish. And you'll be able to say there's things that you can say in Spanish that you just can't say in English, and vice versa. There are different words that mean different things. It's very important to learn. If you're just chilling at home, get some Rosetta Stone. And I tried Duolingo. Fuck Duolingo. Get some Rosetta Stone, and rock with that. I'm telling y'all right now, like my nose is it's like so hard to breathe. My nose is so damn stuffy. It is so stuffy. It sucks so bad. It sucks so bad.
She sent me a private message and said, I was born in 1990. I rejected many men in the past, but now I realized how wrong I was. Back then, people kept urging me to get married, but I wasn't in a rush, not because I had a small social circle or was too busy to meet someone, but because I felt I hadn't met anyone who truly met my standards. So I kept going on blind dates again and again, until finally I met someone who seemed to meet all my expectations. I was happy. I thought I had finally found someone and could leave my single life behind. But what I didn't expect was that he had no interest in me at all. If he had chosen someone clearly better than me, I might have accepted it. But no. He picked someone who was objectively worse than me in most ways, but much younger. And that wasn't even the most heartbreaking part. The real pain came afterward, when I looked back and decided to lower my standards. But even then, men still weren't interested in me. I used to think I was pretty, from a good family, and had no major flaws, other than being a bit older. I thought that with some effort, if I stayed polished and well-kept, I could easily find someone suitable. But reality hit harder than I expected. I deeply regret my past choices. Unfortunately, time doesn't rewind, and no medicine can cure regret. Realizing this dash was my most painful moment. Now, she wants to ask all the men out there, do you really find older single women unattractive? Is that truly how it is? Let's start by exploring why. Older single women often remain confident despite being alone. At their core, they believe they still have bargaining chips, a sense of value, which allows them to remain selective. But over time, especially after age 30, these women begin to witness their value rapidly declining. And that realization is far from pleasant. As they age, the admirers and suitors once surrounding them fade away. High-quality older single men often choose younger, easier-going women. So for older single women, age becomes the main reason they remain unmarried. For men, however, the reasons for being single are more varied, and they have far more chances to improve their dating prospects. Women, on the other hand, face the opposite. There are fewer reasons to remain unmarried, but even fewer opportunities to change that status. This is rooted in traditional thinking. Society shows far less tolerance for aging single women. These cultural biases are historical, and they still exist today. Even though society has become slightly more accepting, the stigma remains. For older single women, age becomes a major weakness. In comparison, the flaws of older single men, unattractiveness, poverty, or low education, seem less significant. A wealthy older man, if given the choice, will almost always prefer a young, attractive wife. That preference isn't just about physical desire, but also perceived fertility in younger women, those who say they'll never settle or never lower their standards. Often don't realize the long-term cost of that mindset. In our country, the average life expectancy for women is 80 years. Most women enter menopause around age 50. At that same time, their parents are likely aging or passing away. For older single women, age 50 marks a major turning point. The value they once relied on turns to dust. The confidence they clung to shatters, and that's the moment they truly enter old age. For the next 35 years, that they'll likely face life alone, without parents, a spouse, or children. They will have to shoulder everything themselves. That's why the no-compromise mindset must be used within its expiration date. For young single women, youth is their most valuable resource. Their sense of power and control comes directly from that time-limited asset. But once they pass that critical age, once their value expires, everything they held no longer matters. The cards they once played become worthless, and their ability to control the situation vanishes. In such circumstances, if an older single woman lacks financial security, she will struggle to live even a relatively stable solo life. For the next 35 years, this harsh reality is what pushes many older single women toward a far less than ideal outcome. Tools. I didn't cry during arguments, but when I read my dad's message, I couldn't hold back my tears. Right now, I'm at a matchmaking market. I came here hoping to meet someone, but no one has introduced me to anyone yet. All I see is a crowd of people standing around, watching me. No one takes the initiative to approach or introduce anyone. Some people just glance at me, sneer, and walk away. They all say my standards are too high. But I think my expectations are actually quite reasonable.
I think my expectations are quite reasonable. So people are glancing at her and sneering at her and laughing at her, and she's still standing out there at a singles market, literally refusing to accept that you're being rejected. And she has this extreme confidence as an older single woman that she will get exactly what she wants, even though that it doesn't align with reality. And many women will hold on to this delusion to the end of their days.
They say it's very difficult to find a man in Shijiazhuang who earns over 10,000 yuan a month. Now I'm starting to feel really discouraged. Over the past 2 days, I've received a flood of phone calls from strangers. Some are distant relatives I haven't spoken to in years. One even came from a matchmaking agency. While I was still feeling confused, my dad called me. He said he had registered me at a marriage agency and told me to answer every call, respond positively, and introduce myself properly. When I heard that, I was honestly furious. I told him, I've never once felt desperate or broken because of not finding a partner. So why does 90% of the pressure I feel come from you? Every day I'm unhappy, not because I haven't found the right person, not because of career struggles, but because of the relentless pressure from you. It drains me, it makes me suffer. My dad was silent for a long time. Before he explained why he did it, he said he feels incredibly guilty. He regrets turning down all the past introductions, thinking I was still young and had time. Now that I'm struggling to find someone, he blames himself.
Yeah, guys, this is what I've talked about. I talk about this constantly where fathers, a lot of these fathers destroyed their daughters, believing that their daughters were too good for most of these men, and they should basically stay and focus on their careers and go and get a medical degree or a PhD or both of those degrees. And now these women, they're not very good with relationships. They have no real social skills. They don't know how to provide. They don't know how to be a wife or a mother. And these fathers who thought that their daughters were so perfect and so special, now they have to face the reality that their daughters, that they're desperate for a son-in-law, to a man that will take care of their daughter, that will provide for their daughter, that won't be abusive. And there were so many good men at that point, and they basically chased them all off, but acting like their daughter was going to be their wife. And now they're faced with the reality that either they're stressed of having to deal with her all the time, they want her to go live her life so that they can live the remainder of the life that they have, or they're tired of subsidizing her. That's what it is. A lot of that is also the issue. They're tired of having to pay for everything. They're tired of having to spend all of this time and effort in old age now taking care of her. And they also realize that they're not going to be around. Some of these people are like 70 years old. All right. My parents are like 70 years old or pushing 70, already 70. And it's like many of these fathers are like, if I'm 65 or I'm 70, I may not be here in 10 years. I may not be able to do this in 10 years. I may physically no longer be able to work in 10 years. I can't take care of my daughter. I can't do anything for her. I don't have a lot of years left. I have to rush. All right? I have to rush to find her someone, even a farmer, anyone, so that she will have a family, she will have something, even if it's not going to be the greatest existence, even if it's going to be borderline poverty. The alternative is that she will have nothing at all. The alternative is that she'll become a spinster. The alternative is that she will have no one. Because you have to remember, especially in China, where they had the whole one child policy, many of these people don't have family. They don't have cousins. They don't have anyone. So the family unit is very, very scarce for a lot of these people in China. They may have the community that they grew up in, which is dwindling, but they have no one to rely upon. And as a result, they know their daughters are going to be all alone, and there's not going to be anyone to provide for them, to be there for them. And so now they're feeling desperate. The fathers are more desperate to protect their daughters, and it's hard for them because their daughters are so damn arrogant, but they also played a major role in it because a lot of these men pushed feminism onto their daughters, and now they regret it. And there's nothing they can do about it. And you know what? They basically deserve what they're getting right now. I don't feel sorry for these men.
He feels deep regret. My father has always cared a lot about saving face. This is the first time I've seen him humble himself and ask others for help finding me a partner. He's also very frugal, but this time, for the first time, he spent thousands of yuan to register me at a matchmaking agency. I know that part of the reason I haven't found a partner is my own fault, but I never imagined it would take such a psychological toll on my father. I feel heartbroken for him. I understand where he's coming from, but I'm also overwhelmed by the constant calls and pressure. Everyone says the same thing. You can't be so selfish. Your parents raised you. That wasn't easy. How could they be at peace, knowing you're still unmarried? They worry about you every day. Their hair has turned gray. Don't you have a conscience? Can't you think about them, even just a little? Even if you don't want to get married, shouldn't you at least try for your parents' sake? I understand my father, but I still can't stand hearing things like, I'm getting old. I can't work anymore. My hair's all white.
I'm getting old. Yeah, what did I tell you? I'm getting old. I can't work anymore. My hair is all white.
I don't have many years left.
I don't have any years left. I told you, these fathers are realizing they don't have many years left. Like these daughters are not listening. They have guys. They're in such bad shape. They're in terrible shape right now. They realize, a lot of them realize they won't be here in 10 years. Forget about 20 years. A lot of these men will not be here in 10 years. Some of them won't be here in 5 years. And they're panicking because their daughters, they don't know what to do with their daughters. Their daughters are hard to deal with. They need to find a man quickly. These women many of them are well beyond their reproductive years. Okay, or just and like children are like not even a possibility, or it's becoming extremely unlikely. And it's like people are speaking to these young ladies that are not even young anymore, 35 years old. You're not a young woman anymore, and they can't change because they were spoon-fed feminism growing up. So they were spoon-fed the whole boss babe thing. Their father spoon-fed it to them too. They bought into the whole feminist narrative, and now their daughters have these jobs and these lives, but they're still depending on their parents, and they have no family. They have no family to turn to. No one. There will be no one to watch out for them. No family, no kids, nothing. So guys, women were not designed to live without husbands. And now this is the consequences.
Hearing those words makes me feel suffocated and deeply guilty. I don't know what to do to make him stop pressuring me. Why has marriage become a requirement? Why does everyone have to get married, even if it's just for the sake of appearances? Why is marriage no longer about ourselves, but about easing our parents' worries, pleasing those around us, and avoiding lifelong regret? Will that really lead to a perfect ending? That's what I'm asking myself today. I stopped by the matchmaking corner at Wantong Academy again to check out the gender ratio. Take a look. Women, 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 women. One man. Women, women. One man. Women, 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 women. The ratio is approximately 1 man for every 6 or 7 women. That means there are 6 women looking for a partner for every single man.
So there are significantly more women looking for men than there are men looking for women. So there's 6 guys. It's 6-1 for every 1 man looking for a woman. There are 6 women looking for men, and the numbers are only getting worse. That's why you have these dating events where 1,000 women show up and not a single man shows up to a dating event. 1,000 women or almost 1,000 women show up and not a single man. And women cannot comprehend that they are not the prize because they were raised to be the prize, but they will not stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Shout out to Mogbo Gaming. Shout out to Mogbo Gaming. Don't know if Mogbo's still around. Shout out to Mogbo. Good to see you, Mogbo. I did shout you out earlier. You and Andy, I did shout you both out earlier in the video. Thank you guys for all your hard work on the channel. But shout out to Mogbo Gaming, guys. Give Mogbo a round of applause for his hard work on the channel, keeping content flowing to many of you ungrateful individuals. Galan says people can't afford their rent anymore. Ashley says, how much longer until they build Tent City? Tyrone is getting restless. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Magwa says, glad to see you back on live streaming. Thanks, bro. It's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. Galan says there are 10 communities in the major cities in Australia. The US is just behind the 8 ball. Trump did promise us big, beautiful, glorious 10 cities. He did promise us 10 cities. And they're kind of like trying to get rid of FEMA right now. So like they're actually trying to get rid of FEMA and like send it back to the states. So I will have to see how that's going to play out. That might be a part of it, like before he starts building them out. Ashley says they got feminism on IV drip. Galan says, you know for a fact they're banging Chad. Ashley says all 6 will reject him too. Then they wonder why. Yeah. So there's 6 women for every 1 man that are looking for every 1 man looking for women at this event. There are 6 women, and Ashley says it perfectly. All 6 will reject him too. Exactly. And when they don't realize like that's the reason why now you go to the events and there are no men. Samantha says modern women are getting what they fucking deserve. Twitchy says, bro. Magbo says, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem, bro. Yeah. Women created this mess for themselves and they just can't learn from it.
Now let's examine the age group. We've got women born in 1990, 1984, 1995, 1991, 1986, 1989, 1987. 1 man born in 1986 and another born in 1997. Another woman born in 1991. Overall, most women here are from the late 1980s and early 1990s. There are quite a few women born in the early 1990s.
Quite a few women born in the early 1990s, meaning that pretty much all of these women are now in their mid-30s or even in their 40s, early 40s. So most of these women are in their mid-30s or early 40s, and they're either at the very end of their reproductive cycle, which is 35 years old. After 35, it becomes a geriatric pregnancy, or they're in their 40s, and that's pretty much it. The chances of them actually getting pregnant and having a baby are almost slim to none. And even if they can have a child, there's going to be a lot of risk carried with that. And yet they're still out here doing this.
But you might wonder, is it easy for women in this age group to find a partner? The answer is no, not at all. Why? Because when I first stepped into Wantong Academy earlier, I overheard 2 parents who came looking for partners for their children, saying that a girl born in 1996 is already too old. To them, even someone born in 1996 is considered over the hill. When it comes to women, who receive the most attention or are seen as having the best chances in matchmaking, it's still the younger ones.
These women can't comprehend their own biology, that they're now too old to have children, and the parents that come to these events want grandchildren. They want a woman who's younger, fit, feminine, friendly, and that's going to be able to produce children. These women cannot understand, who are in their mid 30s or in their 40s now, 45 years old, why men are not going to marry them. Why don't you want an older single woman? Is there a problem? And it's like they cannot comprehend, bro, you cannot have children. You are not fit, feminine, and friendly. You have all of this emotional baggage. You have way more demands than a younger woman is going to have. You are not agreeable. But I just don't understand why you don't. It's like you can tell them everything, answer it exactly to them, and it'll just go in one ear and out the other. Because unless you're lying to them, they're not going to listen to you.
Born in 1998, 1997, or even the early 2000s, these younger women attract the most interest at matchmaking corners. Meanwhile, women born in the 1980s hardly get noticed at all, with so many older women showing up here, and most of the crowd being women. This can be a truly disheartening experience. I genuinely feel this environment is unfriendly toward older women. In such a setting, it's easy for them to feel defeated. The story of leftover women in China is not just a personal struggle. It's a painful social phenomenon. The causes go beyond women having high standards. When choosing a partner, there's also social pressure, a gender imbalance, and deep-rooted cultural biases. Many women, only after realizing that their youth has passed, start to regret missing their chance at happiness. But by then, it's often too late. However, this isn't just their story. China is facing a sharp decline in marriage rates, which is triggering a series of cascading effects: an aging population, a falling birth rate, and serious socioeconomic problems. The declining marriage rate is not just a private issue. It's a wake-up call for society as a whole. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions are important and valuable to us. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
For the most part, historically, men found their self-esteem from meaningful and purposeful work, and also from protecting their families. So what we've done is we've taken their purposeful work outside the home away. We've made their purposeful work staying home with children, and we've lowered the testosterone. So if you look at it and say, we're trying to switch, it's like a social experiment. We're trying to change something that's taken thousands of years of evolution to create in just, less than 100 years. And it's problematic.
What is up, everyone? My name is Carlos, aka C. Welcome to the C Talks channel. If you're new to the C Talks channel, stop what you're doing right now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So at the beginning of this video, I played a clip from Diary of a CEO. I'm going to link the original video in the description of my video. That was Stephen Bartlett and Erica Commissar talking about the current state of men in 2025. So if you look around, you will see in modern times, men don't really have a place or a role in society. Women have gotten more educated. They are going to college more than men. They're getting high-paying jobs just like men. And the more time goes by, you kind of feel like there isn't a place for men in society. This is an incredibly bad thing. Men are being robbed of the ability to be men in modern times. All of this is socially engineered. Women are being elevated in society, and men are being stripped of opportunities to be men, to be providers and protectors, which is what makes them feel like they have a place in the world. This is catastrophic, and this is terrible. Erica, the woman talking in that clip, says, historically, men found their self-esteem from meaningful and purposeful work, and also from protecting their families. Men built the railroads, they innovated, they invented. But if there isn't a place or opportunities for men to do this in modern times, what do? Do they just sit back and withdraw from society? That's what they're doing right now, and that's terrible. Modern society is pushing women to go to higher education, to go to college, and to get high-paying jobs, which were originally held by men. So Erica, the woman talking in that video, says that more than 60% of universities are women, as well as graduate schools. So women are dominating higher education. There's more and more of them every single year. To no one's surprise, men are not enrolling as much in college and they're not getting degrees. So let's look at a statistic that's a little red pilly. Erica says this in the video. Men will marry women at their same educational level or below. Women, on the other hand, will marry men on their same educational level or higher. To nobody's surprise, women are the more choosier sex. They're more selective, they are way pickier than men, and they want men who are as educated as them or more educated. As more women earn college degrees and less men do, less men will be able to find partners and marry in the future. This is going to continue to make men feel disenfranchised, angry. It sucks, but that's where we're headed. Studies and polls in recent years show that more and more men are single. They are not reporting being in relationships. Women are still reporting roughly like the same percentages for being in relationships, but men are really just struggling when it comes to this. You can't change biology in a couple of decades.
Yeah, guys, it is what it is. Women made this decision for themselves and they're going to have to just live with it. And I'm not crying for them. I'm not crying for them at all. But, guys, what do you think regarding all of this? I mean, this is a very interesting situation. Leftover women are aimlessly wandering the streets now. You've got these women out here who are like, well, I'm lonely, I'm single, I don't have anyone to come home to, and I basically just wander the streets alone. Do you agree that this is going to be something that continues into the foreseeable future? When most women have missed their chance and they are not going to change. Let me see here. Ashley says they can get they can be physically intimate with the phallic object of their student loan debt. Yeah, Sims are definitely enablers. He says I fucking hate Sims so much. They are the real enablers. They are absolutely troublemakers. They've created all of this. They are very much the reason why we are suffering so much. But guys, let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. You got a nice long stream. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And shit.